taking off your blue jeans.
We used to be a society of spectacle, okay? Pop stars of the past generation used to show up to red carpet events in a dress made of raw meat and then pretend to die on stage and bleed out. The singer Pink would fly through the air at concerts in like the middle of Milwaukee. And now what do we have? Well, guys, we have a kickin' cool, brand new, maybe Mormon singer who can do backflips. Freaking awesome. We used to place so much emphasis on spectacle, on doing things larger than life. And now what I feel like music has been reduced down to is what is an experience through song that can appeal to the most amount of people, that is the most broadly digestible, that can be turned into a literal crumble cookie flavor 2 weeks after the song comes out. There is now a cookie at Crumble called Moonbeam Ice Cream, and it sells out instantly. I'm saying nothing new. This has always been the case for pop music, but hey, pop music used to have a little bit more bite, and I've never really liked pop music in general. Yes, so here's Papa saying, like yelling at the clouds, being like, I hate popular things, but hey, maybe I legitimately have a reason to hate popular things. And beyond that, what if I say something so crazy that maybe it's because there's a rise of conservatism in the world that we are getting artists like Benson Boone, Alex Warren, Tate McRae country collab, and Sabrina Carpenter cover art. I fucking hate talking about music, pop culture, like specifically pop music culture. I find no enjoyment over it. The amount of times I hit not interested when I'm like scrolling through Twitter and it's like, Tate McRae, The Weeknd, Benson Boone. I'd rather pour molten nickel into my ears, have it solidify, and then rip the canal of hard metal that it reaches inside my brain, ripping out my entire sides of my head. I'd rather do that than like talk about, but I think, hey, it's speaking to a larger problem at hand, which is Benson Boone. But it really, all roads lead to Benson Boone when we look at the fall of Western civilization. First, but let's leave him for last. First off is, talking about this is going to make me look the biggest asshole ever because I'm mutuals with this person, and every interaction I've had with him has been so nice. So I don't want to say anything mean about his craft, but I gotta. And that singer is Alex Warren. His song "Ordinary" has made me consider, I don't know, chopping my toes off, eating them, letting the fungal spores underneath my toenails attack my nervous system and then kill me. I'd rather do that. It's, how do you describe it? I saw he has that new kind of like tavern sounding song, and how it goes like, oh my brother, you know, and he was like, this is an ode to Avicii. My brother Avicii is rolling in his grave. This is not what he wanted. It's like very Mumford and Sons. We're in a recession. Let's start with that. We're in a fucking recession. It's like, you know, that genre of music that was so popular in like 2015, maybe before that actually, and it was like banjo pop. I don't know what the fuck else to call it. It was like why is it back? Why is it more back than it's ever been? And by the way, let me give credit where credit's due. Alex Warren has been on that fucking grind more than anyone that I know, probably. For example, let's give a whole career history of him. He used to be he was like one of the founders of the Hype House, or like one of the founding members of the Hype House. And then was like he would do vlogs on YouTube that were like borderline like David Dobrik style. Like go and watch old Alex Warren vlogs. Like he uses the same sound effects. He does like the same laugh. Where it's like, ooh, sorry, that was scary. Like almost identical. I think like even at one point David Dobrik was like, hey, why is this guy like my clone? So he went from that and then randomly started making music. I remember it was like such an abrupt shift, and it was the same music that he's making now, and I'm surprised it didn't take off earlier. Well, I guess okay, no, I know why it didn't take off earlier. So he was making like the same kind of music. Should I play like a snippet of like a song from like 2020? And listen, I remember hearing it and thinking like, okay, like he can, like Buddy can sing. Like once again, give him credit where credit's due. It's not like he's like a bad singer. I was actually amazed. I was like pretty surprised by how good he could sing. Also, how come when you scroll on someone's Spotify, there's like it's like featured on Clean Pop Hits 2025, Hits 2025, Rainy Weekend, Summer Hits, Hot Hits. Who the fuck are making these? Headlights, what is this? 2022. Okay, like maybe it's like a little bit talky. It's like, I'm singing this song and I sound like a theater kid. But he's been doing this shit. And I think for a while, like he was not getting streams. Hey, take a guess. Guys, let's do a thought experiment. How many monthly listeners do you think Alex Warren has? Hey, so the answer is 52 million now. And where would you place him in all-time artists? Hey, so it's 43 in the whole world. To give context to that, just in case you were wondering, that's almost as much as Beyonce, who gets 58 million streams. So obviously he's doing something right. Obviously I'm the little fucking Luddite sticking my head in the sand, being like, well, like cursing his name out. But there is something to be said about the visceral reaction I have to this type of music, and specifically this music. And this is the thing. It's not like the music is good, and this is the case for so many artists now, and it's not even like their choice. I'm gonna name drop another person, and please don't get mad at me. I guess this guy has so many fans now, like diehard fans, even though he's pretty new. This is nothing against him. I'm just using it as an example. I've never even listened to one of his songs actually, but that singer Somber, I think, probably makes. Or I think he came up on my Snapchat like Discover page, and he was just reposting TikToks about him, but they were all with like the same font. So it was so clearly like organized by one person, but he was posting them as if it wasn't like his team making them. But I swear to God, like 40 TikToks a day. And then you go to Alex Warren's TikTok, and same thing, like the amount of TikToks he's made for each one of his songs to promote them is insane. But in his case, it worked very well. I think it's like the #1 song for a minute. And that's what it takes now. That is what it takes. You could have the best song ever. And I'd argue that the music that he's making now is pretty equal in quality to what he was making before. But since he's doing the TikTok machine, it's bada bing, bada boom, #1 in the world. Next up. Okay, let's connect this to Benson Boone. I don't know if Benson Boone is like making TikToks. I don't know what the fuck Benson Boone is doing, and I'd like to keep it that way. God damn it. It was against my knowledge. I learned that there's a Benson Boone crumble cookie. But similar, basically like music that is seen as like risky or edgy now. Even like the pop sphere is just completely gone. What works is like a safe bet, and I think that's why Benson Boone and Alex Warren are doing so good. I'd like to read an excerpt from the Pitchfork review for Benson Boone's new album, which got 3.4 out of 10. I have not seen a review that low. I mean, I expected it. I remember when he performed at Coachella, one of their writers was like, Benson Boone is so god awful, it makes you wonder if this entire medium of music was worth it. I don't think more harsh words have ever been spoken. But they said, Boone's music is an invasive species in the garden of good taste, but it's important to understand that it is a thriving native species in the world of Netflix's Love is Blind. The reality dating show where conventionally attractive sales and marketing people try and fall in love with each other, sight unseen, famously uses the kind of anonymous schlock pop that sync houses sell to the show for pennies on the dollar. Yes, there are several songs here that sound like Kirkland brand killer songs, but it's Boone's music that thrives in the common normal world where love is banality, cliches, and the performance of how one ought to show love on a massively popular reality dating show. It's a step removed from the genuine article. Music for people who like how music sounds, but not for people who like music. Hearing that was like a validation that I've never gotten from any human on this earth. I started to feel crazy, okay? Being a Benson Boone hater, believe it or not, is a hard thing to do. Because when you're when you're Benson, you're booming. Oh, I fucking hated saying that out loud. But it really, the culture has shifted a little bit to, valuing complacency and normalcy, and traditionalism. And you might think some of those words are a little bit synonymous with a certain breed of politics, which tends to lean a little bit more right-wing, or potentially, it's very religion safe. You could play this at a youth group meeting. You could play this in a Chick-fil-A. You know what I'm getting at? It's safe. I don't know how else to describe it other than just like extremely safe, washed, sanitized, clean music. When you listen to a Benson Boone album, which I'm not going to do, I am going to sit here and make this 30-minute podcast episode and complain about his music and not even listen to the album. I am going to do that because I've had to listen to all the singles played on every radio station, every public space in existence. And my, hometown friends' Instagram stories. It's been against my will. So, you might think, what's the point of complaining about it? Like, if it makes people happy, live and let live, as they say. But what just irks me so much, what just irks me and tears away at my soul is, hey, I feel like sometimes we forget that, what are the two main mass media categories, music and movies, are an art form. Hey, do you guys remember when that used to be an art form? And that is very much getting lost and becoming just, for music, about getting streams, and for movies, about creating the funniest meme chicken jockey moment. It's like how can we turn these things that used to be an art into essentially the museum of ice cream? And when someone gets as big as Benson Boone, it's like, what standard do they set? Or rather, how far they're picking up that bar, and how far deep into the earth are they burying it? The bar is no longer even on the floor. It is now in the ground for becoming a pop star. People gave Harry Styles the same criticisms, saying that he wasn't a good enough performer or songwriter. We need to find him and thank him now, because now, since he fucking disappeared, we have goddamn Temu Harry Styles doing backflips, putting on little sparkly skin tight outfits. And that's who we're left with. That's who we have to suffer with. So that's like one category of Republican music. The other categories are like, I guess, subcategories. Next is Tate McRae and what's his name? Luke Bryan. I remember people were so mad about this because like I feel like Tate McRae was trying to be like the next like it girl pop singer, and then here she is making music with like, what was it, like homophobic? I don't even know. And everyone was mad about that. But what you need to understand, fellas, Tate McRae is from Alberta. This should not shock you that someone from Alberta would have no problem making a song with like someone who is homophobic. Was he right? You know what? Let's look up the controversy tab on Wikipedia. What the fuck am I doing? First, let me double check that that's who even. Listen, I had plum wine tonight and a little loopy. I had one glass. I really just made myself sound like a alcoholic. Okay, wait. Tate McRae, Luke. Was it Luke Combs? That's Diddy. Hello. Who did she make Zach Bryan. Is Luke Bryan not a country singer? Fucking hell. Okay. Zach Bryan. Zach Brown. Isn't that also an artist? Sometimes, like, white people's names really all start to sound the same. He was born in Japan. What the fuck do you mean? Zach Bryan was born in Japan. Oh, probably a military base. Hello. Oh, he doesn't have a... Wait, he doesn't have a controversy section. Am I just slandering this man for no reason? Zach Bryan controversy. See, that's when we need Google to be like goddamn TikTok, where anytime there's anything about anyone, there's a little blue bar that says, Ben of the Week controversy? Okay, recent controversies mega thread and a note from moderators. This is going to be good. This is going to be good. Actually, I don't know how mega threads work. I actually don't know how Twitter works. I just saw the craziest ad. Okay, wait. Zach Bryan's controversies over the years, from breakups to arrest. Oh my God. Okay, here we go. His relationships, married someone in the Navy, divorced. Okay, I'm gonna get that. His arrest. He was an incident with the Oklahoma Highway Patrol. Okay, I don't really care. His drunken posts. He posted a controversial post revolving Taylor Swift and eggs. He wrote, Eagles over Chiefs, Kanye over Taylor. Oh. That'll do it. His rumor and feud. Okay, this is... Anyways. I just remember people were, like, upset. They're like, Tate McRae. Freaking seriously? No, guys. And I'm not saying Tate McRae's are like a conservative, but listen, Albertans are different, and country girls make do. Finally, the Sabrina Carpenter album cover. Listen, fucking hell. I don't know anything about Sabrina Carpenter, really. I played her Fortnite festival, and got 5 stars in all her songs because I'm a completionist. But I did see the cover art for her new album that got people very angry. It's her on like all fours, I think with like a leash. No, there's like a guy like holding her hair, and the album name is called Man's Best Friend. So she is emulating like a dog, and a man is like holding her hair. Very beyond kinky, just so kinky. And then I think like the back of the album is like a dog's collar. So listen, I understand the visceral reaction, thinking, welp, this just set feminism back 30 years. And while it probably might do that, I don't know, who knows? The album isn't even out yet. We don't even know what the songs are about. Face value. Yikes. Does it literally feel like she's like it's just like appealing to the male gaze in a crazy way at face value? Yes. But here's the thing. from the very little that I've listened to Sabrina Carpenter, hey, what's the one thing she does, guys? Hey, guys, let's use her critical thinking. What's the one thing she does? Critique, like, men. Her new single off the album is called Man Child. I don't think it's a just broad, like, face value appeal to the male gaze. I don't think that's what it is. I'm sure when the album comes out, it will make sense. But I can understand why people freaked out right off the bat, and they were like, this is disgusting. So you know what? And listen, imagine plot twist. Maybe the album comes out and she is like, I saw everyone like making they're like, this is what we think the new Sabrina Carpenter album or song is gonna sound like. I'm gonna do that for another song. Wait, is the track list? I'll just make up a track list. This is an unreleased leaked song that I'm making up. If she goes the full trad wife route. I'm your dog, you can walk me. You're just my owner. Like, but that's not what she's gonna do, because she's freaking Sabrina Carpenter. Also, another thing is, like, I feel like Sabrina Carpenter, where'd she come from? Disney? So, like, she's got a little bit of a younger fan base that might not, like, understand nuance or satire. And specifically, I feel like for international audiences, a lot of the time, nuance and satire that, like, might make sense in, like, a Western perspective gets a little bit lost. So there's that too. That might add to the 80,000 comments being like, you're the devil. So, and maybe I'll eat my words. Maybe it will set feminism back 10 years. But I don't think so. But I will say it is a little bit of a raunchy cover art, and that can really make or break an album. I remember everyone hated that Faye Webster cover art where she's like eating like chocolate coins, to the point where I feel like it like actually affected how many people listen to the album. There's that one I don't even know if I can show it on here, but it's like fully on like Spotify and Apple Music. I think it's like Party Next Door, which, by the way, why does, like, out of like those two big artists like Kanye and Drake, why do they all have like a backup rapper that is so fucking booty? That is just so terrible. Like, Drake has Party Next Door, and Kanye West has Ty Dolla Sign. I don't fucking know. And they're just like almost like backup vocals, but they're in every goddamn song, and they have collab albums, and no one fucking likes them. Like, who is streaming Party Next Door? But goddamn, of course, it's okay. Anyways, I'm not even streaming Drake, by the way. Look up the album cover for Party Next Door 4 by Party Next Door, and tell me you could have that pop up on your phone as you're on the bus or something. Like, it is batshit crazy. I genuinely can't even show you. I don't even know how the fuck they allow that. So, does all of these examples signal a rise in conservatism? Well, it wouldn't take Benson Boone to let you know that there is a rise in conservatism in this fucking nation. Or in this world, actually. I was reading this really interesting article. There was an interview about Jacinda Ardern, the former Prime Minister of New Zealand. And she was talking about how she came into office, I don't know, when it was like 2017. Around when like Trump was getting, I think, his first term. And she was like really like campaigning on like, you know, empathy. And she was like a young leader, and she was a woman, and it was at a time when the tide was kind of shifting with like Brexit and Trump becoming into power in his first term, and it was almost like she was like going against the grain and against the wave, and it almost feels like, and she ended up, I think she left office. I think she maybe not resigned. I'm not sure how the prime minister situation works in New Zealand, but it almost feels like, as we have this second further shift into conservatism, What will we lose? Action question. What will we lose from the most recent shift into conservatism culturally and musically? One final point I want to say about all the music that I've shit on today is I used to not place any value really in what an artist like had to say in their music. Like I really, as a kid, like used to not give two shits. I think that's why I liked Logic so much. Like all these rappers that are like broadly seen as corny. I was like, woo, I love them. Like Big Sean. I was like, woo. But now that I've like, I don't know, maybe my frontal cortex or frontal lobe, which one is it? I was going to say is developed. Clearly not. Now that it's maybe developed, I'm realizing and maybe noticing when an artist has nothing to say, when they are simply making music for the sake of making sounds, and specifically sounds that chart well and can make it into a Spotify playlist, and do the whole 9 yards. And I think maybe that is what irks me the most about Benson Boone's music, Alex Warren's music. And it's not like it's instrumental. They are saying things, indeed, in the English language, but it's nothing of substance. It's words that are just like comfort food to people, like mystical, magical, moonbeam ice cream. I'm not saying we gotta sing about the socio-political state of the world like fucking Jaden Smith or anything, but it feels hollow and devoid of anything. Okay, let's wrap this shit up. Thanks for watching. Thanks for letting me be a hater. Guys, I need it. I just need to get it out of my system once a month maybe. And so grateful that you can allow me the space and the time to do that. So thankful. Not saying this to become bitter or jaded. I think I'm not saying it's good to be a hater. I feel like it. Hey, okay. Side tangent. I feel like it became such a fun, like a thing to call yourself a hater like a year or two. Oh, I fucking talked about this before. Okay. Goodbye.